Joining us now, Johnnie Moore, the executive chair of the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. Again, just want to acknowledge it is D.C. We've got some First Amendment activity going on outside today on the streets of D.C. And full disclosure, you and I have known each other for years. So I reached out to you when I found out about what was going on with this organization and the many criticisms. So I wanted to have a conversation with you, and to your credit, you were willing to come and talk about these. So what about, in part, what the senator had to say, that people are being killed when they try to come to the places that there used to be, they said, hundreds of distribution centers for the food. GHF has taken it down to 4, and they say that is just ultimately a dangerous situation.
Yeah, Shannon, I have to say I'm quite alarmed to listen to a sitting United States senator and with his colleagues in that letter basically launder information that originated with Hamas and has been spread all around the world in order to discredit the only consistent food operation of the last 2 months. That's not leadership. What leadership is what President Trump did on May 5th when he said the United States was fed up with Hamas stealing the food and we were going to do something about it. And over the last 2 months, the numbers speak for themselves. 105 million meals free to the people of Gaza. Not a single truck has been stolen by Hamas. And whether it's this, the 400 being replaced with 4 sites or these statistics about casualties in the Gaza Strip, these casualties that the senator, and by the way, I'm a constituent of the senator, and I work with a lot of constituents at GHF of the senator. These figures emerge from Hamas, and then they're laundered all around the world because President Trump actually decided to lead and make a difference. We're standing here today, and there are hundreds of thousands of lives that were saved. And we don't want to argue with the United Nations, even though they don't pick up their own food, they don't deliver their food. By their own statistics, 90% of and it's unbelievable. Like, to just say, oh, 95% of the trucks don't make it, but we have to do better. That's unacceptable. That's the United States money. That's European money. 95% of the World Food Program trucks can't get to the people in need. We haven't had a single truck taken over. And all we want to do is we want to work with the United Nations and the World Food Program. We want to do exactly what the senator just said. That's the mandate we have from the President of the United States. But every single day, they try to sabotage everything that we're doing. I don't understand why the UN, and while some in elected office in this city and in this and around the world and in Europe would rather help Hamas than the United States, because GHF is a United States initiative with veterans on the ground making a difference.
All right, I want to talk about this whistleblower who is a veteran who has talked about, he says, inside what's going on with GHF and the security force and how that shows up. The BBC is reporting this. A retired U.S. Special Forces officer who worked at GHF centers told the BBC last week he witnessed IDF troops and U.S. contractors shooting at crowds of Palestinians near sites where he worked. He said he'd never seen such a level of brutality and use of indiscriminate and unnecessary force on starving civilians.
This is not a credible person, and these aren't credible allegations. And so much so that we immediately, when people started, again, laundering this information around the world, we did a full briefing. And I won't waste time, with the details here, but you can go watch it online. 20 minutes. We show the text messages, the contracts, everything. We put it all, and it begins with the fact that he even says he resigned. He didn't resign. He was fired for misconduct. I don't think you can trust a single thing that this person says. And in the meantime, it's a distraction. It's a distraction from what is real acute food insecurity in the Gaza Strip. We're doing all we can to help. We spend an enormous amount of time and energy correcting all this disinformation and misinformation. And in the meantime, President Trump, he sent his own envoy and the ambassador to Israel to our sites just on Friday. They saw with their own eyes. They met the beneficiaries whose lives that we're saving. And then, coincidentally, they happened to simultaneously see UN aid convoys taken over by people at gunpoint. So Hamas can steal the food, prolong the war, resupply and replenish themselves. This war needs to end. Everybody believes it. The suffering is intense. Everybody knows it. And we can solve the problem. That's what GHF has proven. The cost of doing business for feeding people isn't that 90% of your food is stolen by a globally designated terrorist organization.
I want to make sure that we get to this, because this is something that the senator brought up, this issue that there isn't widespread Hamas takeover of the food items as they try to go in. The New York Times says there's no proof of that. The Israeli military never found proof that the Palestinian militant group had systematically stolen aid from the UN. They cite 2 senior Israeli military officials, 2 other Israelis. Then a guest opinion piece in the New York Times said that as well. There are no verified verified cases of Hamas's looting aid from convoys on a large scale.
I mean, you can always find people that will anonymously have some point of view. The truth is, on this issue, before the United Nations started lying about it, they actually were telling the truth about it. And there's all kinds of public databases. You can go to @GHF updates on X. We put it there. I mean, this figure of 90% of the WFP trucks not making it. They disclose it. We didn't make it up. It's on the website. And I'll say it again here, Shannon. Every single day, we send a message to the Secretary General, to the head of the World Food Program, whom the senator mentioned. Every single day, we want to work with you to help these people. We're the ones with our hand extended, and they keep knocking it away from us. And in the meantime, we're just going to keep serving because that's what the President of the United States told us to do. We're doing it, and the facts matter. And the fact is 105 million meals free to the people of Gaza, not one truck stolen by Hamas. That's the only thing that matters. And by the way, we could do more. We could do more. We've helped 1 million Gazans. We could help all of them.
Well, that is a goal that I think across all party lines is one that people agree on. So let us know if you have interaction with the UN and if they give you a response. Johnnie, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate your time.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.